My friends, my YouTube friends, welcome. Welcome to another Big No-No live stream. I decided to randomly title this live stream the Shh, Nobody Has to Know live stream. I made that decision for absolutely no reason a couple moments ago. Before anyone gets here, well, Andrea's here. What up, Andrea? But before anyone else gets here, I'm going to start this for anyone who's watching this live stream back and who's wondering, why don't you just schedule your live streams so that if I want to be there, I can be there. I want to start this off for you guys and for anyone else who might be here with a reading from Believing in Myself. Oh no, my light just went dead. I believe in you, light. Come back to me. Yeah, that's better. So, for those of you that don't know, ya boy struggles with self-esteem, ever improving, as my behaviors and actions become more esteemable. It's the craziest thing. I start doing better with my self-esteem. But anyway, I really like this book. It's called Believing in Myself. I try to read it every single day when I wake up because it just starts me off in a good space. So I'm going to get to everyone's questions, or whatever reason you're here. If you guys want to direct the conversation, just know that I'm super pumped that you're here. I feel really lucky to have you. February 17th. As far as the stars are from the earth, and as different as fire is from water, so much do self-interest and integrity differ. Self-preservation is the strongest instinct of humankind. When push comes to shove, all our noble resolutions go out the window when we feel too threatened or at the end of our endurance. The fact is that we do what we have to do to survive, or what we think we have to do. Fostering self-esteem often means reinterpreting what we, quote, have to do to protect ourselves. The self-talk we use to filter and process outside reality is a good index of our survival mentality. What do we say to ourselves when we're busy, but sometimes has a legitimate claim on our time? When we're tired, but someone asks our help. When a community crisis calls for talents and energies much like our own. Our response depends on our view of the world and of ourselves. Is the world a garden that needs our tending, or a jungle that's too dangerous to enter? Our self-talk gives us clue. It won't do any good. Why should I? It's none of my business. I can't. I don't have time. Our defensive phrases banged out on jungle drums. Maybe I can help. Why shouldn't I? At least I can show up and give it a shot. Are the responses of confident, growing people who have broadened and deepened their definition of self-interest. My concern for others mirrors my growing self-respect. That's powerful. I really, really like that. Real quick, I'm going to tell you what that reading means to me, and then we'll start answering questions, and we'll just take this live stream wherever it takes us, wherever you guys take it, wherever we go. But when I think of that, I think of something that's been really huge for me in getting sober, staying sober, working recovery program, trying to figure out, how do I like myself more? Like, how do I just dig the person I see in the mirror? And something that comes up a lot is being of service, being selfless, doing something for the benefit of others without there being a direct benefit to you. But the truth is, and this is an awesome truth in my experience, helping others makes you feel better about yourself. And when you feel better about yourself, you treat yourself better. You tend to act, or I tend to act more in line and in accordance with my values, or at least the things I say I value. And so I know 100%, I know that when I'm kind to someone else, when I do something nice for someone else, when I go out of my way to make someone's life even a little bit better, and that can be small and or a big action, I feel better. It makes me feel better. And that's a relationship of give and take that I'm very, very keen to stick to because it's working. So, spiel over. Welcome everybody to what's feeling pretty infrequent random Sunday live stream. There are plenty of you here right now, which is really, really cool. I think YouTube has added a new... Oh no, I just deleted someone's message. I apologize. I did not mean to do that. Christopher Robinson, I accidentally deleted your message, but it was an accident. Chris, that was an accident. Okay, anyway guys, there's a new feature on YouTube where I can pause the live stream so that I can not get lost on comments. We'll see how well that goes, but I'll give it a shot. My goal today is to get to everyone's comment. I think I say this every single time, but I want to just give shorter answers so that anyone who had the courage or bravery to go ahead and type a question or say something, which I know can be hard for some people, I want to get to you. I want to acknowledge you. I appreciate you being here. 5 minutes in, I haven't said anything. Perfect! But there is, oh beautiful, so there is a function on here, I gotta say it, called Super Chat. If you want to use it, it puts your question first. It's a way to support the channel. Incredibly cool of you, but I will get to everyone either way. And the first one does come from someone whose handle is Jams03. I don't have much money, but your videos have helped me. So Jams, thank you for the Super Chat. It's incredibly kind. It's not necessary to do that, but it's so incredibly kind, and thank you so much. I'm glad to know my videos could help you. It brightens my day. It warms my heart, and I'm wishing you well. And let's get right into this. Andrea Santana says hi. What's up, Andrea? Anthony, hey Noah. What's up, Anthony? Jams, hi. Hey. Eon Phillips, what up, Noah? What's going on, Eon? It's a dope name. Captain Recluse, howdy do, Noah. Howdy do. Jams says, hope you're well, dude. Yeah, I'm doing really, really well today, guys. Thank you. And likewise, hope everyone's doing so well. Andrea Santana says, cheers from New York. Perfect. Jam says, how's everything? Everything's good, guys. Everything's really, really good. I have some exciting stuff going on in my life that I haven't really shared about on my YouTube channel right now. I'm trying to be patient, careful, more methodical about what I post, but a lot of cool opportunities. Sobriety's going good. My relationships are going good. My beard game has never been stronger, although I think I'm right about to shave all of this off. Yeah. It says... cheers from New York from Andrea. Cool. That's awesome. AR Campbell says, hi, Noah. What's going on, man? ARC, excuse me. Christopher says, I don't know, just like a neutral emoji. Okay. Neutral emoji. Bogdan Riker says, hello there. What's going on, man? Jam says, this will help me fall asleep. Good. Wade County 305. Does anyone in here deal with really bad intrusive thought? Trust me, dude. People here do. Like really bad thoughts that make you scared of yourself. I know I do. Well, I don't too much these days, but I certainly know I have, and they have they have absolutely crippled me in the past. It's a familiar thing for sure. You're not alone. OMG, what the F? Hacks, what up? Atrilia Cole, hello, how's it going? Jennifer Nascimento, does it Amazon sell it? I don't know. Oh, the book, I'm sure it does. Kirsten, hey Kirsten, it's good to see you. Lilliput Farm says hello, what's up? Justin Torres, going for the Paul Bunyan look. Yeah, I'm on my winter grind right now, guys. I admittedly am enjoying this more than I probably should, but I don't think this is like the most handsome, professional, attractive, inspiring look for me. I think I look a little bit ridiculous, but I really like it. I have an interview coming up with someone this Wednesday. Not an interview, a meeting. There's a potential for some sponsorship, and I want to look clean cut, I think, so I'm going to chop all this off, I'm pretty sure. Kyla Forster says, super random question. What brand is your pink beanie? I really dig it, but can't seem to find what brand it is. That is actually my wife's pink beanie, and I'm plugged in right now to this live stream, and I don't know where that pink beanie is. But if she gets back on her run, or from her run in time, I'm going to find out, and I'm going to tell you. Jason did it. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Shoot. It's always the hardest thing about this live stream is always that on the right, for me, I guess for all of us, we see the new comments, which is awesome. But yeah, occasionally it'll just go from whatever comment I'm reading, it'll just shoot me to the most recent comment, and I get a little bit lost. So let's see. Jason Kinsley says, nicely, Noah, with your help, I have found I have a lot of the same symptoms. I just want to say thank you for that. I'm glad I know that sharing my experience could help you, and I don't take that lightly whatsoever. We all, I mean, my life was like deeply impacted by someone just explaining what the hell they were experiencing when it came to depression and anxiety and stuff of that nature. So I'm glad to know it helped you. Christopher says, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Peace, Love, Pulse says hello. Hey, what's up? Montana Lewis says hello. Hi, Montana. Who knew? How did you do those workouts on no food? So recently, guys, I did a 72-hour fast, which is 3 days, and all I did was consume water, coffee, and I did take a non-insulinogenic electrolyte tablet, just something that could help keep my electrolytes relatively in check while I was fasted. And on the third day, I did a couple really hard CrossFit workouts, and it was really, really difficult. I just got through it. I just got through it is how I did it, but I couldn't attack. I had to be really careful. It was a cool experience, but I wouldn't do it again. Eon Phillips, does your coffee drinking affect your anxiety? So when my anxiety was fresh, when I first was being just overwhelmed with panic and obsessive thoughts and just a myriad of other things that were destroying me, yeah, I had to really back off stimulants in general. I couldn't just drink coffee the way I once did. I certainly had to let go of all energy drinks, and that was well before sugar being a problem for me, and in terms of my desire to have it as a part of my regular life was on my radar. That was just when I was taking in tons of stimulants, synthetic or not, that I didn't really understand. So yeah, I had to back off. I mean, it's very counterproductive for your nervous system to take in like heavy stimulants and caffeine and all those other things that are in these drinks whilst trying to manage your heart rate and your racing thoughts and your rumination and panic and anxiety. So until I was able to completely feel in control of the way anxiety was impacting my life and impacting my obsessiveness, impacting my depression, etc., I stopped drinking coffee altogether. And now, for today, I'm doing pretty well, very well actually for today, and I'm able to enjoy a cup or two of coffee with no problems. But it was a progression, that's for sure. Nunzio Bilante, hey Noah, what's going on, Nunzio? Sunshine says, will you do a dry fast? I don't think so. I don't think so. I certainly have no interest to do a dry fast. So for those of you that don't know, a dry fast simply means not eating or consuming any water. I think if you went into it well hydrated with no previous health conditions, right, an otherwise healthy person, no chronic issues or anything of that sort, not on any sort of medications, I bet you could pull off a dry fast for a short period of time. It could be pretty interesting. Certainly sounds like it would have some mental and spiritual benefits. I don't really want to dig into the potential physical ones, but I don't have any desire to. I really like drinking water. Gregory Gaspar says, what up, brah? What's up, brah? Ethan Michael says, hello, Noah, feeling less than great today, but still sending good vibes and strength to everyone here. That's beautiful, and I love that. And I'm sending good vibes and love to you, my friend. I hope your day and or your minute gets better. All Prob Rob, love your channel, Noah. Thank you, man. That's really nice of you to say. Lorelei Villanueva says, hey, weirdo, you're my favorite YouTuber. Love, love, love your content. You're basically part of my support system. Your videos help me and console me all the time. I love that. I love that you said that. I love that you used the word console. It just makes me feel so good. I feel like I'm in this this juncture in my life where I want to learn everything. I want to be as knowledgeable and as useful and as helpful and as well-rounded as I can possibly be, but I realize I'm just at the beginning of that part of my journey. I've never had a quest or thirst for knowledge before like this. I've never had the ability to follow through with things and establish committed goals that could lead me to something like of being like an expert on something to help people. But what I've always been capable of doing is sharing my experience. And I know that that's valuable, and that's valuable, something you can do too, of course, regardless of your experience. So what I know, what I don't know, it doesn't change the fact that I want to be kind, I want to be loving, and I'd love to console someone who's scared. I'd love to console anyone who's scared and is going through any mental health crisis that they've never been through before. Anecdotally, I can share my experience, and I know that there's value there. And it's really, really hot right now. All right, I have to turn off the heat in my house. I will be back in 30 seconds. Break! Boom! Come back, there's like 5 people left. Who's this guy think he is, leaving a live stream in the middle of it? Okay, excuse me, I'm back. Soda water. I'm addicted. I might not drink alcohol anymore, but I'm addicted to these liqueurs. Joe Smith just dropped a super chat. Says, thank you, by the way, Joe. Let me calm myself down. Joe says, trying to keep lifting with anxiety. Good. I think that's great. I think that's great. Something I had to try to do despite my anxiety. I think being mindful doing some meditative practices, even in between sets. The language I use with myself really helped. Don't give that up, and thank you for supporting me in this channel. ETF42 says, why are you coming off TRT? I thought it was a lifetime commitment. So I've not formally announced on this channel. I'd be happy to announce to anyone who takes the time out of their Sunday to sit with me right now that I made the decision that I want to have kids. I made the decision that I want to have kids. And some of you might not even know what I'm talking about, so I always feel the need to give a very brief backstory. But I was diagnosed with hypogonadism back in 2012, found out that I had extraordinarily low amounts of testosterone in my body. And this was in the midst of a treatment-resistant, dangerous clinical depression. So we started treating me. But one of the side effects of being on low-dose testosterone to treat this condition is that I'm sterile. So I couldn't have a child right now, even if it was my #1 priority. And there are ways around that, medical interventions that can help. But it would require coming off of TRT, I'm almost certain. Certainly would require starting something known as HCG. So I have a meeting with my doctor in like a week, and we've got new blood work for my TRT, and things are going to change. But I feel ready. I feel ready for them to change. And yeah, the thing is, I don't know if I can make testosterone naturally anymore. I mean, last time I looked, I couldn't, right? But there's a lot of other circumstances, a lot of other things going on. I don't know what that will mean now. I don't know. But I want to find out in case I can bring another little bearded baby into this world. We have a really generous super chat, a $20 super chat from Madison T. Thank you. That's incredibly generous. I'm so thankful. It says, much love, Noah. Thanks for everything. Whenever I start feeling better, anxiety and depression, I tend to backslide into unhealthy habits and ignore my self-care. This often leads to a lot of guilt. Any tips? Yeah, I certainly have tips, and I think so many of us can relate to that strange phenomenon of, oh my God, I'm uncomfortable. Oh my God, my depression's bad. Oh man, I feel terrible. I'm scared. Whatever the stimulus is to evoke some change, we all can relate to that feeling of like, crap, this is getting bad. I need to do something to fix this. And then we start doing some things, and or for whatever reason, things start getting better, and what do? We slip into the path of least resistance, which is to go back to our old ways. It's a phenomenon that strikes everyone, in my opinion, one way, shape, or form. I don't care who you are, what your background is, how good or bad you are at this, that, how smart you think you are. This seems to plague people across the spectrum, in my opinion. And it's certainly affected me, where I can't believe how quickly I resort to old behaviors. But have made tremendous strides and improvements on this, and I'm going to tell you one simple thing that comes to mind, which has really helped me, which is to find, basically make sure you have leadership in your life. All of us should have that, by the way. I promote that. I preach that. Jesus, I don't know where I would be if I didn't have leadership in my life. And that can be financial leadership, physical leadership, spiritual leadership, character building leadership, business leadership, whatever. But if you're relying on only you to sort out life, I pity you, sir or madam, because there's a lot of things to learn, and there's a lot of trappings to look out for. But as it pertains to falling into unhealthy habits, I think what needed to change for me, like a paradigm shift, was that I wasn't going to just be some brand new person all of a sudden. And the reason I would fall into old behaviors, I wouldn't even call them unhealthy habits, I would just call them old learned behaviors, is because I didn't have enough practice with new ones that I could really attach value to, or in a simple way, effectively put into practice each day. So for me, in so many words, I had to start figuring out the path of least resistance for what behaviors was I willing to do that I knew fit into my goals and my lifestyle and my plans and my needs and my wants, that were simple, easy, replicable, repeatable, actionable, etc., etc. Let me give you an example. As far as like, we all want to be healthy. I can't imagine there's someone watching now being like, I hope tomorrow I feel like shit. Or I hope in 6 months I've gained 30 pounds. Or I hope I have depression in a week. You know, no one wants that. We all want to be reasonably comfortable, reasonably happy and fulfilled and at peace, right? As we get from A, birth, to B, death. Morbid, esoteric reflections by Big No-No. And so we have to figure out how to stack habits. And that's how you end up not slipping, is when you stack habits that truly become part of your lifestyle slowly. And I think that's the toughest thing for a lot of us to accept. Certainly was one of the hardest things for me. It's like, all right, Noah, you're not going to wake up tomorrow and be someone completely different. You're not. But hey, for example, can you drink a glass of water every time you wake up? Are you willing to do that and make that a non-negotiable thing? Great, can you do 2? So I'll spend 2 or 3 weeks, and this is before and now this is part of my routine, but I would spend 2 or 3 weeks. That's all I had to do. That's all I had to work on. I had to make a commitment to drinking 2 or 3 glasses of water every single day, which I was willing to do. I was down. The benefits of drinking 2 or 3 glasses of water were large, great benefit. And then from there, I went to once I had that down packed, I would go to the next thing that I was willing to do. Cool, are you willing to wake up and write 3 things you're grateful for? And that's your only job in terms of character development or creating a stronger, better, more viable version of yourself. Yeah, I'm willing to do that. And then I got used to doing that while not letting go of the water. Cool. So now I've got 2 new habits that are slowly becoming lifestyles. Can you now stretch for 5 minutes when you wake up? Do you see what I'm saying? Build that habit. Are you willing now to do a reading when you wake up? Build that habit. Are you willing to go for a walk once a day for 10 minutes? Build that habit while not letting go of the previous habits. Long story long, my friend. What I'm trying to say, Madison, is that we have deep hardwired behaviors, triggers. The problem isn't always the problem patterns in our life. That, from my experience, can only be combated with sustained, practical, and simple habits stacking upon one another to the point that you are now becoming and evolving very casually into a more just sturdy version of yourself who can stick to your goals, because now your goals are just second nature. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I feel like I could talk about that forever because it still gets me in certain ways. It's a really fascinating topic to me. Anyway, I love that question, and I hope that helps. Yeah, getting better is a major trigger for me, but keep going. Keep figuring out why that is. Ask the question why as often as possible. Okay. Tom Hampton says, what's up, bro? Tomorrow will be 5 weeks, no drinking, no smoking, or Xanax. Damn, Tom. That is a big freaking deal. Kudos. Congratulations. I love that. I hope you're doing okay. This I would imagine is a very sensitive time for you. Your brain is doing a lot of work to rewire, so it's a big effing deal. Good job. Gregory Gaspard says, you effing rock, dude. Thanks, man. You do too. That's nice of you. Oh my God. Hack says, hey, from Canada, what up? That's awesome. Warden062 says, 1 all over on the beard. Keep it sharp. Black Fox says, nice beard game, bruh. Thanks, bruh. Appreciate that. Nunzio Bilante, your extended fast video. Oh, shoot. I lost, wherever I was, I lost it. Let me find it again. Nunzio Bilante says, your extended fast video rock. Thank you. Maya Thomas just saying hi, boo. Hi, mama. Guys, Maya Thomas is my mom. She's my rock. I came from her body. Hi, mama. Love you. Oh my God, Hack says, go to a barber and ask to tighten it up. Looks great either way, bruv. Thanks. Yeah, I probably should. Psychedelic Pup. Do you ever find yourself feeling uncomfortable around your own family members and not even being able to make eye contact? Any advice? I have social anxiety and general anxiety disorder. I don't. I mean, unless I am just, excuse me, unless I'm just struggling with depression at like a tremendous clip, I don't really have that particular issue with my family. However, I think my best advice for you, I don't know your circumstance, but what comes into mind is maybe pull a member of your family aside that you feel the most comfortable with in general and afford them the same trust that you just afforded all of us and me here by saying that you're having trouble making eye contact and you're struggling. Just let them know. Well, let them know that you're feeling uncomfortable and you're struggling and maybe you don't know why. And let me tell you guys, nothing endears you more to someone else than being honest that things aren't going great or you don't feel well. So maybe that'll work for you. Black Fox says, nah, it's not a bad deal. Keep a goatee. I doubt I'd keep a goatee, but thank you. Armando Mendez says, hi Noah, any tip on how to get into CrossFit for a reasonable price? Kind of unstable financially, but I want to do it. Yeah, so CrossFit is on paper quite expensive up front. If you break down the value, the potential value that's there mentally, physically, it's worth it in spades. But I understand that when people see like the $145 a month, $165 a month, $175 a month, they're like, screw that, I can go to 24-hour fitness. And what I say to people when it comes to like, do you have a budget for that? One, make sure you have an actual budget. Like, do you have a budget? Do you know where your finances are going out? Do you know where you're potentially wasting money on things that aren't maybe that important to you? So just take a look at your statement for a month and peek where you might find that money. Two, do a pros and cons list of what you're hoping to gain. Because CrossFit will give you community. CrossFit will give you accountability, CrossFit will give you coaching, and it'll also give you programming. So all you have to do is show up. And that is where the value is. It ends up transforming a lot more than your body potentially. It just helps build you into a stronger version of yourself, mind and body, character too. But that being said, I don't want to pretend like everyone can and should try to afford CrossFit. That you can definitely incorporate CrossFit functional fitness movements out of 24-hour fitness, out of Crunch Fitness, or something like that. You just have to go to main site or look into programming online, so you can find information. You can certainly find tutorials, and you can safely learn how to incorporate a lot of the basics of CrossFit. So maybe just set the intention that you're going to do some functional fitness at home or something like that. Or make the budget for a month, try it for a month, and if you don't like your experience and you gave it an honest effort, you can always call it quits there. But at least you have that chance to say you were in the door and you tried. Ula Tondos says, why am I singing? Ula says, hi Noah, how do you deal with setbacks in mental health after just making so much progress? Have been feeling so much better with my anxiety for a while and felt depressed all week. Oh, my heart feels for you on that one. And everyone here who's ever experienced mental health problems, they understand that the recovery process is non-linear. It's not a straight path. The number of times that you go forward 10 steps forward, 9.999 steps back, we can all relate to. Everyone can relate to that. I think how I deal with it and what helps me is knowing that I'm adhering to a process, and I have some structure in my life, and I have a game plan. So I think the hardest thing is when you have no clue why you're doing a bit better, and no clue why you start doing worse. And then just that obsessiveness that can come over a lot of us to figure it out. Like, why? You just feel like you have to know. And I feel like I worry less about the things I can't control when I'm controlling more clearly the things that I should and can. So when I'm following a ritual and a game plan and a treatment plan and an action plan that best improves my chances to stay mentally stable, and I have a slip, I can put it contextually in its place. But when I'm not doing the right things, or when I know I'm slipping, and we all do, we all have that internal, sometimes it's not obvious, but it's between the ears or right here in the solar plexus, we can feel when we're not living up to our potential, or when we're cutting corners, and then we start doing worse. I think that can be a little bit harder. So so first of all, just give yourself a pat on the back. Deep breath. It's going to get better. It can get better. It got better before. It'll get better again. And know that this is just, unfortunately, and can be part of the game. But my experience has told me, as long as I continue to take accountability for the things I can control, and I'm humble and I work as hard as I can, it will get more and more stable. That floor will rise, right? That floor will rise so that when we dip back, perhaps we don't dip back quite as far. Either way, it fucking sucks. Sunshine says, do you ever deal with maladaptive daydreaming? Maladaptive daydreaming. Hey Siri, what is maladaptive daydreaming?
Maladaptive daydreaming is a disordered form of dissociative absorption associated with vivid and excessive fantasy activity that often involves elaborate and fanciful scenarios. Do you want me to keep reading?
Yes.
It can result in distress, can replace human interaction, and may interfere with normal functioning such as social life or work. People who suffer from maladaptive daydreaming can spend more than half their days in vivid alternative universes.
Interesting. Thanks, Siri. I don't think I do. I don't think I do deal with maladaptive daydreaming, and other than having a history of depersonalization and dissociation, which is feeling like I'm stuck in a dreamlike state, and that was horrifying. I don't think I have ever experienced that in particular, unless, when I was really depressed, I certainly remember feeling out of it and in my own world. I would be a part of people, and I would be in groups and social situations or around people I care about or love but don't feel anything, and I would just zone out and just feel like a nothingness, an emptiness, a numbness come over me. So if that is in any way, shape, or form the same, then yeah, I've dealt with it, but I don't seem to deal with it much anymore. It sounds hard. I imagine you're looking to connect and you're wanting that back, so I'm wishing you strength. Joe Smith says, hey bro. What's up, Joe? Camila Goddard says, no, I've watched a lot of your videos. I've been in suicidal depression for 3.5 years. My name is Tyler. It's going to read as Camila. Goddard, I'm using my mother's phone. My depression start. Tyler, I'm sorry to hear that. I've been suicidally depressed, and I've felt that discomfort and that just nail on a chalkboard feeling inside yourself. It's horrifying, and it's something that few people will ever truly understand. But you're still here, and it can get better, and I want you to know that and believe that. And I'm rooting for you, and a lot of people are. And just keep talking, keep being open, and don't trust everything you think. Okay? Don't trust everything you think. Sorry if the sound of me drinking is just awful. I hate that sound, and I just thought about that when I was drinking. I was like, oh God, they can probably hear me swallow. Lori Foster says, my boyfriend's been dealing with his clinical depression since Thanksgiving and needed space. Told me he doesn't want a relationship with me now. Anyone, friends, people, that he wants to be a hermit. That's a tough situation, Lori. I can only imagine how distressing and how much anger you probably or possibly feel over something like that. Clinical depression is a monster, and it relegates men into children, and same with women, and people like yourself, and lovers, partners, into caretakers, and just the ones forgotten. Because for the person suffering from depression, nothing is more intense to them, nothing is more real, and they can't see past it or beyond it. It's certainly a lot harder to connect with other people, and it's damn near impossible to understand what other people might be experiencing when you are experiencing what you believe to be excruciating pain and discomfort. It confuses everything. So I don't know how you feel about prayer, whether you're religious or not, but maybe pray for him. Pray for him that he gets whatever he needs, whatever he wants. And then, Lori, take care of yourself as best as you possibly can with all your might. Rid yourself of the responsibility of having to figure out what's going on with him. Nurture yourself, honor the pain you must be in, and then I would just say, control what you can, but realize that this is his journey, and just take really good care of yourself. Get support for yourself. I'm going to say something that's terribly cliche. It almost hurts to say it, but if it's meant to be, it's going to be, right? If it's meant to be, it's going to be. I know that's a cliche, and it's a little annoying to say. Mr. Yobama, but I feel for you. I'm so sorry. Mr. Yobama says, hey man, I've been dealing with the detachment from oneself and reality of derealization for a while now. About 2, almost 3 years. Any advice? Oh man, there's so much potential advice, Mr. Obama. I would say first and foremost, identify blood work. Make sure that there's no irregularities in your blood work of any kind. I would start there. And if you haven't done that, end of conversation. Go make sure you don't have a blatant imbalance or deficiency. And then stay brave and never give up. Maya says, I can't find the super chat option. Good, Mom, because I told you to stop doing super chats. I will not be telling you how to do that, Mom. James, that's actually my mom, by the way. It's not like me calling some stranger mom. Yeah. James W. Smith says, depression, anxiety, PTSD, crippling for 10 years, shut in. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry, James. That sucks. For whatever it's worth, and I don't know if this is worth anything to you, but one of the interesting parts of being on this platform, being in the space where I talk about depression and things I experience in the spinning rock, is that people have reached out to me from all different types of walks of life, and they've shared with me tragic stories, but also incredibly inspiring stories, many of which have been to the tune of, I've been depressed for X amount of years, I've been treatment resistant for X amount of years, I've been doubly depressed, right, with clinical depression and dysthymia, whatever. Just insert hopeless scenario, and then people have just told me that they've gotten better in spite of themselves, and it always brings me so much comfort. It brought me comfort when I was still in my clinical depression. I couldn't get better, and it brings me comfort to this day to know that as long as you don't give up and you stay in the fight, things can get better. So I'll be praying for you. Bob says, Firat, time joining your live stream, 14 days summer, but I have really bad impulse control, get depressed and bored. Mini races. Thank you for your videos. They help. You're welcome. I appreciate that, Bob. I didn't quite understand, but some of it typos aside, thank you for the nice words, and I'm wishing you the best. Excuse me. Camila says, I have to continue in another comment. Is there any way to contact you? Personally, I'm terrified I'm going to kill myself soon. So yeah, I'm not a mental health professional. The only thing I can offer is like through my Patreon, for example, is people can reach out to me and I can just support them. I can just be supportive. I can brainstorm with people. I certainly cannot treat, diagnose, or direct action, nor should I. That'd be outside of my scope at this time. So yeah, I would recommend calling 911. I would recommend calling a suicide prevention line if you think you're at the brink of self-harm. Make sure you tell someone. And I know that terrified feeling. I know that terrified feeling. When I was deeply depressed, it's always been relatively hard to explain, but just you're boiling inside. Like the pain and the discomfort is so bad. Like minutes turn to hours, hours turn to days, days turn to months, at infinitum, right? And I remember walking down the street when I was clinically depressed, and I just was burning up internally with so much discomfort from the depression that every car that would drive by, every bus that would drive by, I would just like imagine hurling myself into it because I just wanted the pain to stop. But I stayed alive long enough for things to get better, and they got better, and they're going to get better for you too. Just be brave and don't isolate, and don't trust your thoughts, and talk to someone, okay? Mr. Yobama, it's where you type in chat. It looks, oh, okay. Joey Ove says, cheers for all the positive videos. Been struggling from a bad drug experience about 2 months ago and went through a lot of anxiety and DP. You and Michael Neal are a big inspiration to me. I appreciate that. I'm glad to know the videos can be helpful. Yeah, anxiety and DP from a bad drug experience, it must have been a nightmare. So yeah, I hope you're staying brave. I hope you're believing in yourself, and you sounds like you're latching onto some leadership. Which is great, and I believe in you, and stay brave. B Stokes says, howdy, look at that beard. I know, right? Like, chia on this beard situation right now. Black Fox, oh, and I hope you're well, B. Black Fox says, damn, I'm drinking a Bang energy drink, right? As you said, back off. It's not addiction, though, just motivation before the gym. Hey, I wasn't saying don't drink. I wasn't putting out some sort of, like, definitive statement against all energy drinks or coffee or anything like that. I was just talking about like some personal feelings on it, but that's just for me. You do you, boo. A.R. Campbell, I have generalized anxiety, but it's way worse in the mornings. I watch your videos in the morning, often as soon as I open my eyes to pull my brain out of the initial black hole funk. Dude, I mean, honestly, that like makes me feel so good to know that a content I made could be helpful to you to usher you through what can be the worst part of a lot of people's day, especially if you have a history of depression in the mornings. I used to be so scared of the mornings because of how much worse my depression felt. And I believe very much in morning routines and rituals, and if I'm a part of yours right now, that sounds good to me. I'm grateful to know that. Just to know that I can be helpful to you in that way, because I have a morning routine that I depend on and lean on very much, just to make sure that I start my day in the best possible mind frame I can as someone with a tendency to be depressive, with a proclivity for worry and stuff like that. So that's dope. Joey says, excuse me, keep up the good work, you absolute warrior. You too, man. Tull says, sucking down Mountain Dew in my teens and wondering why I have panic attacks. Yeah, I mean, dude, didn't we all suck down like Mountain Dew and Amp and Rock Stars? Like, I drank so many energy drinks as a kid. I had no idea what I was doing or why I was doing it. And then I wondered why I was so damn tired all the time and why I was just like spiking in my moods and then crashing. I'm going through this incredibly weird phase in my life where like I realize I don't know anything, and I just want to know everything, and I believe in my capacity to learn anything. I just don't know anything. That's like I'm becoming aware of how very small I am in this whole entire experience, and it blows my mind because I thought I knew everything when I was younger. Anyway, as the old saying goes. Lorelei Villanueva says, my question is, will you talk about supplements you use for mental health? Have you done such a video? I think I've done such a video, but I can tell you really quick what I do. This is, again, not me advocating these for other people at this point in my life. I'm just telling you what I do for me, obviously. But I do take L-tyrosine in the morning, neurotransmitter support. I take L-glutamine just to help heal and restore my gut. You know, with the understanding that my immune system and a lot of my feel-good neurotransmitters are created in my gut, so I just naturally I want to keep my gut as healthy as possible. So I do take L-glutamine on an empty stomach in the morning. I also take a fish oil, a B complex that's got some other stuff in it to help me with an MTHFR mutation, vitamin D because I live in the Pacific Northwest, so we don't get a lot of access to sun, nor do I feel like I make a good enough effort to. And I feel like I'm missing something. Sometimes take like a magnesium as well. Yeah, those are the ones I take. I should probably do an updated video on that. Lori Foster says, do I leave him alone or check in again after a few weeks? Should I give up on him? How can I support him? I know he misses me, thinks he's protecting me from him. He thinks he will hurt me. Do I leave him alone or check in again in a few weeks? I think it's perfectly reasonable to try checking in on him for a few weeks, but I think in the grand scheme of things, yeah, you need to love from afar. You need to set the intention that you care about him. You're here for him if he needs you, and as long as it's not going to destroy you, right? You still have to figure out the boundary thing with depressed people. I know my then girlfriend, now wife, had to even figure that out with me, and we didn't break up. But she still had to set boundaries with me because it was so incredibly draining, and she ran the risk of slipping into a similar state. Yeah, I'd say try contacting him in a few weeks. And listen, I'm not telling you to sit and twiddle your thumbs. I am literally encouraging you, Lori, to go out of your way to take care of yourself better than you've ever taken care of yourself before, to make sure that the presence you can have in your boyfriend's life is purely my cup is overflowing positive one, and not I need to fix you or make you better to feel better. It's a very tough, tall order, and something that is easier said than done. But if you can make sure that you have independence over your sense of well-being, which is something that takes tremendous effort, the likelihood of you to be there, ready, and able to impact him when he needs you without it being to your own detriment just increases, right? So give him space, perhaps, from my I don't barely know you perspective, and really, really up the ante on what you can do to make you healthier, stronger, happier, more whole in the absence of him being in this terrible state. Jackson Thomas said, there it is. Jackson Thomas says, what's your opinion on NoFap? I recently quit porn, good for you, but I'm still masturbating. I choose to do it because of performance anxiety. Yeah, I don't, look, I certainly don't know the science behind the NoFap movement at all. I personally don't look at porn anymore of any sort. And unless you include, I do have some private pictures of my wife, and if I'm really in a pickle, if I'm just feeling like crazy overwhelmed with how aroused I am, and it's not an appropriate time to just go pouncing on my wife, then I will use some of that stuff that she has given me, and I just feel really good about that because that's my wife. Like that is in the confines of the relationship we have in our marriage, and I feel really good about that. So I feel more than empowered to enjoy wife porn, I guess, once in a blue moon if I really need it. But otherwise, I guess I don't have an opinion is what I'm trying to say. As I divulge a bunch of personal stuff to you, I have no opinion on NoFap. I would definitely, at a glance, without knowing any better, I'd say quitting porn is 10 times more important right now than you worrying in terms of what it could potentially stand to offer you than like what masturbating, how that stands to hurt you. Does that make sense? Just my opinion. John Fisher says, just want to say thank you for sharing your journey and for the inspiration you instill in others. You're welcome. It's absolutely one of the most beautiful, you guys being here, for example, this whole thing, it just makes me so happy. It just makes me feel so good. John Be Gone. Hi, I legit woke up one morning with derealization, I think. What could be up with that? Never had any anxiety issues before November, then one morning it just changed completely. Isn't that fucking scary? I don't know, of course, what could be up with it for you. I just want to send you a little love and support via my mouthpiece, because I know that space is crazy, and mental health you can go from thinking you can conquer the world to not being sure you can get out of bed. So I always tell people to start with blood work, because to me it's just like, it makes sense. Like, make sure you don't have a hormonal imbalance or some sort of massive deficiency. I just think that's smart. So I would do that first. And aside from that, I would perhaps look into outside help, see if there's some sort of mental health leadership you can get in your life that might help you figure out if something triggers you or whatever. But sometimes the brain does these sort of things as a cry for help for you to take better care of yourself. And I don't mean you, I just mean like any of us. Like the brain is a pretty powerful way of saying you're out of balance, and only you will know if that statement is true or resonates with you. But it's a thought. It seems to be true for me most of the time. Camila Ruiz Riva Dinera says, about caffeine, weird fact, it calms my anxiety, even makes me sleepy. Hey, that doesn't sound too weird. People, like Adderall, for example, right, is 100% a stimulant. But if you have legitimate attention deficit disorder, then what does Adderall do for you? It's calming. Now, me, when I take Adderall, I feel like Bradley Cooper from Limitless. It just turns my brain like it's very much a drug, and it just excites me, and I want to like write music and clean my bathroom, which I haven't taken Adderall, by the way, in a million years, but it makes sense to me is what I'm trying to say. Matthew Bro says, do you believe in Jesus? I certainly believe. Yes, I believe Jesus walked this earth, right? I've learned and read some of his teachings. I love some of the spiritual practices. I don't know if I pray to Jesus. I think I pray because I was told prayer is powerful, and I don't have to understand what I'm praying to. But I believe the history books, and I'm navigating the whole spiritual side of life right now, and what that means to me specifically. Milk Me TV. $5 super chat, one of my all-time favorites, saying, what up, playa? What's up, Milk Me TV? Thank you, of course, for being supportive and dropping me that. That's crazy kind of you. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, or you want to direct the whole thing somewhere, please let me know or ask me a question. But otherwise, as always, you've been a long timer here, and thank you for being around. Camila says, I wish you could help me. My comment is getting lost. So I already addressed that. I talked about it earlier. I stand by everything I said. Kirsten Shanzer says, have you ever felt like just sitting in your depression and accepting it? My counselor obviously says not to, but it's exhausting to always keep distracted, moving, but I have no energy to keep going. Yeah, oh my God. I have given up in the face of my depression in micro moments and or days and or weeks at a time a million times, right? I don't care anymore. I don't care that I don't care. I'm flooded with apathy and depression and hatred and anger, and just I'm tired. I mean, fighting depression and anxiety is just exhausting. I mean, it's so tiring. I tell people like this. I've said this in the past, but it seems to really still be at the forefront of my mind. People complain when they're sick, which is fine. I'm not here to knock on someone for wanting a little comfort when they're sick, but when people get sick, be it the flu or a nasty cold or whatever, they complain because it's so draining physically. It makes you feel so uncomfortable and low, and it often does seem to be accompanied by depressive thoughts and feelings, being really sick, especially for a while, 2, 3, 4 days a week, whatever, 2 weeks. But they get so much love and respect and courage, and we have one thing that depressed people don't have when we're sick, is we know, almost beyond a shadow of a doubt, we know we'll be feeling better relatively soon. When you're depressed, when you're anxious, and when you're really truly depressed, not feeling down, but like depressed, the kind of depressed that most people think they've experienced, but a lot of them haven't. And I don't want to sound like that. I almost didn't like how that sounded. It sounded snooty, which wasn't my intention. But what I meant is, when you have a true clinical depression or mental health disorder, people need you to be better, and you need you to be better, and it's harder to see. It's harder to see and understand, and we're so good at faking it. I mean, I know, Kirsten, you understand this. Like, we're so good at acting like we're okay when we are literally dying inside. We can barely move, but we just keep going anyway. And with all that being said, yeah, I fucking have given up so many times, at least between my ears. Stop caring, stop wanting to try. And then somehow we just do anyway. We just keep going. Because what else are we going to do but die? And I wasn't ready to do that. And thank God. Because things can just get better, even when you don't want them to or think you care anymore. And the good news here, I always feel like this is worth mentioning because this has been my experience, and I'm so thankful. As potent as my depression was when it was bad, is absolutely engrossing as it was. I mean, it had every fiber of my being for so long. I forgot what it felt like to be okay, completely. Like, I remember crying and telling people, like, I'll never feel normal again. I don't remember what it's like not to hurt. I don't remember what it's like not to have this crippling anxiety. I just don't remember. And it broke my heart. As potent and as just like devastatingly raw as that felt for so long, and as real as that sentiment was for me at the time, once you get better, once I just somehow, I mean, there's a lot of things that went into it, but once I got better, you accept that you're better. It's like, you don't trust it at first, but once you're better, you forget on a day-to-day basis, at least, how much you hurt. Like, I certainly don't forget that it happened, and I can touch back into it, and it traumatizes me a bit, and I can get a little scared here and there. But once you get used to feeling okay, just like you kind of get used to feeling down, it works both ways, and it's a really good thing. So what I'm trying to say is, even if you don't think it'll ever get better, it can anyway, in spite of you, and you can actually embrace it pretty fine. You end up getting used to it. You remember what it feels like to feel good because you feel good. You just, when you're hopeless, you don't imagine you'll ever not be hopeless, which is exactly how it should be, or rather how it is when you're depressed as all shit. Looks like we have another super chat from Hugo Velasco, a $2 one. Holla, 200 cents. Thank you, sir. I'm just being stupid. I'm going to go find your comment, Hugo, because I don't see a question attached to the super chat, which I appreciate. But let me see if maybe you drop me something down here. It says, Hugo, is it you, Hugo? Yes. So the most recent thing I see from Hugo is, how did you fix body acne on TRT? My levels are not at 1,000 yet. So for me, like when I first started testosterone, it took me right back to like the puberty age of my life in terms of how my body responded to puberty with acne. Having really low testosterone and then suddenly having a doctor prescribe me testosterone led to a bunch of acne. It's just, it flooded my body. What I did find was that, one, my body seemed to just adapt over time and it got better. My skin wasn't so oily. I seemed to just be responding better. But two, when I cleaned up my lifestyle, when I slept more, when I had better hygiene, and certainly when I changed the way I ate, it made a big difference as well. And then they also just, when you're first starting TRT, it's a bit of a guessing game. Doctors are trying to figure out, based on symptom relief, side effects, and blood work, where you need to be safely. What would be optimal for you to get the benefits of not having low testosterone, but also not the side effects of having too much testosterone, or converting too much into estrogen or whatever. So my recommendation to you is to control the little things you can, and then watch that blood work carefully and just take note of how it's impacting you, make adjustments. But sleep, diet, hygiene, water intake matter. And maybe you don't have a ton of experience with how to maximize all that, but you got to start trying to learn, and it'll get better. I have zero acne on TRT. I haven't for a really, really long time after what seemed like it was just bad for a while. But again, that's just my experience. We have another super chat from the Rhodey clan. The Roddy clan, maybe? The Rhodey clan. No question attached to it, so I will go find it. But for anyone who might use the super chat function for whatever reason, and that's not me saying do it, it's just me like letting you know, if you happen to do that and you want your question answered right now, or you want to direct the conversation of this live stream right now, you can. But please attach your comment, question, whatever you might want to with that super chat if you're able to. It's a little easier for me, and it just helps me to make sure I honor your pledge, you know. So let me try to find you though. The Roddy clan. Let's see the Roddy clan. It says, let's see. The Roddy clan says, I'm not sure. It all happened so fast, and my wife took care of everything. Okay, so I don't know the context there. The Roddy clan, the Roddy clan, the Roddy clan, the Roddy clan. So guys, I'm just looking for a comment from someone who dropped me a couple coins, which I want to honor. Yeah, I'm noticing a bunch of. Here we go. Okay. Are you serious? Oh, gross. One of my own beard hairs just flew into my mouth, into the back of my throat. If that's not reason enough to chop this thing off soon, I don't know what is. Anyway, the Roddy clan says, hey, I suffer from anxiety and depression. My testosterone level was 167. Mine was only a little bit lower than that. Doctor said he wants me to be around 700, 900. Hell yeah, that's a great range. I've been on the shot now for 6 weeks. Do it every Saturday morning. Okay, you're well on your way. You're well on your way. I wonder how much you're taking. I'm pretty sure I feel a little different, but still have a little anxiety. Yeah, so guys, starting any treatment, even something as powerful, let's say, as a hormone imbalance, like the one that really helped pull me out of a treatment-resistant depression, or it certainly gave me legs to start walking and working on other things that clearly needed to be worked on, it is not a cure-all. And I think one of the biggest issues a lot of us face is that we start something and we want to feel better now. Like we've been in the shitter for way too long, so that when we finally start a treatment that is prescribed and seems viable, we get pretty impatient. And even with TRT, month 1, I had more appetite, a little more energy, but mood, month 2, a little bit better, month 3, a little bit better, month 4, a little bit better, you know what I'm saying? Like so on and so forth. It was a compounding effect for me personally. I think that's the case for exercise. I think that's the case for meditation. I think that's the case for gratitude. I think that's the case for vitamin D. So be patient, is what I'm trying to say. Be crazy patient. Just be crazy patient. I don't see anything else from you, Roddy, that I think you wanted me to address, but thank you so much for dropping that super chat. And let's figure out where we were as far as questions go. Let me scroll back. So it looks like Nunzio Bilante says, Noah, how do you stay focused while feeling depressed on a fast and not binge eat? I do really well on intermittent, but when I have something that affects me and I just shit the bed, so frustrating. Yeah, so I have a really gentle... I'm very, very, very gentle with myself these days. I couldn't possibly be more gentle with myself. So when it comes to fasting, I'm just so proud of myself for looking into the benefits of fasting, for being willing to try, for learning, for growing, for having this new attitude and mindset that I want to be more, I can be more, and I'm going to figure out how to be more. Some days I feel really good, and fasting is really, really easy. And so I fast. Like, for example, guys, it's about 7 p.m. right now. I haven't eaten yet today. I've been up since 8, and I haven't had a bite of food today, and I'm doing great. Today's a great day to fast because I'm just in a great space, and I wanted to fast. I went on a 4.5-mile run earlier. I still feel great. And I only say this to demonstrate, at least for me personally, that some days it's going to be ideal to fast. Other days, I might set the intention to fast. Well, I always intermittent fast. I'm so adapted now to where I never eat before like 3 or 4. But some days, let's say if I want to go for a 24-hour fast and I get to the 18-hour mark and I'm just like, I'm not feeling this. Like, I want to eat. I want the comfort of good food, or I'm stressed or I'm worried, whatever. The point is, I don't punish myself for that. I need to be flexible. I'm asking my body to be metabolically flexible. I need to, on a mental and emotional level, be flexible with myself. If I wasn't ready for it, I didn't do it. So I try to meet myself where I'm at, forgive myself for baby failures, and just promote trying and trying again. And to me, that helps me not go into, I screwed up, so I may as well screw myself over even further, such as binge eat because I'm angry or upset that I didn't fast. Just take away the good or bad of it and just take it easy on yourself. Just take it easy on yourself. But I have been in that space. I just don't happen to be in that space anymore. I hope that helps. John B. Gone says, what's wrong? Okay, cool. Kokichi Oma says, sorry, good, you guys are talking to each other. That makes me happy. Colby Stump, keep up the good work. Your videos have helped me so much. Thanks, man. Tyler, the suicide hotline number. Cool. So this is, I'm accepting a message from before. The suicide hotline number for Tyler. Call it. You stand to lose nothing. Call it, my friend. Let's see. Tull says, I've seen, Tull, Tull, says, I've seen CrossFitters do the thermostat dash faster. Just, my bad. You're right, coach. I feel like I definitely left something on the table earlier. All right, John Fisher says, hit the thumbs up, folks. Oh, thanks, John. Jams03, someone look at the, cool, prize, awesome. Clever new name says, your beard precedes you. Yeah, it's pretty gnarly right now. Camila says, I'm under the name Camila, but my name is Tyler. Anabolic steroids has caused me to be really sick. Oh, man. I didn't know that. So yeah, one of the things a lot of guys don't talk about, which Tyler here brought up, is that young men often start anabolic steroids because they want to build muscle. And they don't have any history of discipline. They don't have any history of eating well or eating appropriately to build muscle. And they don't have any history of working out consistently, smart, safely, effectively, or whatever. Hang on one second. Yeah, one second. And then they jump right on steroids, which can absolutely have terrible side effects, very dangerous, potentially very dangerous. And then they try coming off them, for example, and then everything crashes. That's why we need to be so careful. That's why I'm so grateful that when I found out I had low testosterone, and I'd never run a cycle of anabolic steroids or anything like that, but when I found out I had low T, I had a doctor tell me what to do, because that stuff can't be taken lightly. So I believe your brain can heal, though. We're now going to let my brother punch in on this live stream. Hi, Luigi. Say hi to my subscribers who are watching the live stream.
Hi, subscribers!
That's my little brother, Luke. He's me 10 years ago, but cuter.
Yeah, cuter and so much taller.
So much taller. What's up, man, real quick?
I was just calling that tell you that I'm done reffing for the day. The last 2 teams forfeited, so I got paid. And didn't have to game, so I'm done.
Nice. What time will you be over at Dad's house?
I'm driving home from David Douglas right now.
Sweet. Are you going to stop by your house first, or are you going straight there?
I guess I'll just go straight there. I'm starving. I haven't eaten all day, though.
I haven't either. Maybe Dad will have food. I will be there at 7:30, exactly when I said, because I'm going to wrap up this live stream, and I just don't want to just bail on people immediately. But I'll be there at 7:30, maybe a little bit sooner. I'll set maybe put a 15-minute timer on the rest of this live stream.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, yeah, and then, yeah, let's see if we can get some good food out of Pops or something.
Seriously, I'm starving.
Yeah, I haven't eaten yet today, so.
Me neither.
Hell yeah, you fasted today?
Well, I didn't intentionally try to do it. I was running late for my games this morning, so I didn't have time to eat, and then I didn't have a single break from all my games, so I just...
It's a good thing. Sunday's a good day to fast. I'm officially being disrespectful to people that are tuned in to my live stream. I'm going to let you go, but I'll see you really, really soon, okay?
Okay, I love you, and tell them I love them, too.
Oh, they can hear you, so...
Love you guys. A lot of love.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Excuse me for that. I had to take that call. I'm meeting with him later. I hope that didn't come across as disrespectful. Okay, guys. I'm officially putting a 20-minute timer on the rest of this live stream. I'll go as fast as I can, get as many... I'll rapid fire these questions. Okay, I'm going rapid fire mode right now. But I am going to put a 20-minute timer on this bad boy because I do need to go, because I do have plans with my awesome dad and my nerdy little brother that you just met. We're gonna hang out for a little bit. So putting that timer set. I'll go as fast as I can. I really appreciate you guys being here. Rapid fire. Let's go. Mr. Mustang, love your sobriety and alcoholism videos. Working on it myself. Good for you. Thank you for encouraging that content. I need to make more. Rich says HCG works great. I hope you're right. I'm so excited to have kids. Clever New Name says you helped me a lot with your testimony. Testimony is powerful. We all can do that. I'm glad to know mine helped you. Tyler, you need to speak to a professional. I agree. Use HCG to get fertile. Will do. That was from ETF42. Tull says, can't you take HCG with the TRT? Yes, you can. I don't know how that affects fertility. Justin Torres says, use HCG to break your wallet. Is it expensive? That's scary. John Begone says, hey, big no-no, can derealization come out of nowhere? I literally woke up one morning with derealization, and now it's shifted into foggy vision and dizziness. Before, I was always happy as fuck. I think in many ways it can be brought up randomly. I think the whole thing can happen so much faster than we expect it will. But there's so many factors that I couldn't possibly know in your case. What I think is more important is that you're aware something's going on and that you want to get better, and I believe you can. So just dig into blood work if you really need to, and then just start minimizing stress and anxiety. For me, I think the two are comorbid. So if your anxiety is high, if your ability to get out of that fight or flight mode, if you're in that sympathetic state too often, like a lot of us are, it's going to make symptoms worse. Best of luck, my friend. Cronctus says, hello, no, what's up? Justin Torres says, from what I've seen, it's at least $300 a month. That's a fair bet, but I mean, if I want to have little baby Noahs, I got to pay up. Joey Ovi says, keep all the positive vibes. You're an absolute soldier, and I have so much respect for you. Helped me so much with my anxiety and DPR. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad to know I could be of service. Tull says, clever new name says, I'm just coming out of a month-long ruminating OCD, anxiety-riddled, intrusive thought period. Whew, I know, right? What I'm going to focus on is that you said you're just coming out of it. Good for you. I have literally so many times, guys, and I'm getting better. I seem to be bolstering my defenses against sudden thoughts taking me to terribly dark places, but I have gone from being like pretty okay, to just horridly depressed because I can't stop obsessing and tweaking out over one single thought. And the trigger could be something so benign. So I know how quickly that can get away from you. I know how long it can be to get out of it. Good for you. I'm glad you're out of it. Stay brave and just really bolster that self-care, right, to make it less likely to happen again. We have a very generous, what is it called? Super chat. Excuse me. Tyler Moody just pledged $10 to the channel. Thank you so much for that. It's incredibly kind. It 100% makes my life better. So thank you. And Tyler, I didn't see a question associated with that from you. So I'm going to jump down to the bottom and see if I can find something from you. Okay. Tyler Moody. Tyler, I'm not seeing anything from you, boss. I'll check back down the bottom of the comment section in a second here in case you want to direct this live stream a certain direction. That is your prerogative. Guys, anytime you want to just change the conversation or say, talk about this, or you have a question about something like that, or whatever, you want my attention, the super chat's a really fantastic way to do that. Not only like as far as the way it works, it just flashes your question for me. I can see it in bright yellow, whatever, or bright green, but it also just, it supports me, so it's cool. But anyway, Tyler, I'll look for yours. I don't see one right now. I'm going to get back to these questions, and then I'll check again. So thank you, guys. Oh, man, I'm so backed up. I'm never going to get to everyone in the next 15 minutes, but I'm going to try. Tao Tao. Oh, I love Tao Tao. She says, you and your wife will make such a spiritually and physically beautiful family. I wish you both good health, joy, and prosperity during this chapter of your lives. So, guys, Tao Tao is one of my favorite viewers. If I ever see her name in my comment section, I literally just feel this warm, peaceful, happy feeling because she's so positive. Whether something good's going on in the video or bad, she is the epitome of putting goodness in the universe and having it rebound and reciprocate, right? Karma, whatever. I don't know, but this woman's wonderful, and I strive to be like her in that I just hope that the way I communicate to people, the way I talk to people, the way they feel when they're around me, I leave them a little better than I found them. I certainly don't make them worse, So anyway, I just really appreciate you, Tao Tao. I know your name can't possibly be Tao Tao, and maybe you've told me in the past, but thank you for being so nice. The power of nice is real. It really is. I don't care if you're pumping my gas or you're performing my open heart surgery. I'm going to treat you the exact same. Yeah. Justin Torres says, are you stopping TRT for a few months to check your baseline testosterone and jumping straight to HCG? So no, I'm not going to fall off a cliff. Something my doctor told me not to do or not to even consider is going from being on hormone replacement therapy, which I am. I'm on 140 milligrams a week to address my hypogonadism, not to go from having my hormones supported to just stopping because I want to avoid pain and suffering. I certainly don't want to suddenly go to nothing and then experience a ton of side effects. I started it because I was told I should start it. I was in treatment-resistant depression, and if it's time to come off, I'm going to do whatever I need to do. I'm going to follow whatever guidance my doctor and my team tell me to follow, but I'm going to follow carefully and mindfully and as smoothly as I can to avoid some sort of major upset to my mental health. John Begone dropped me a super chat. Thank you, John. Thank you so much. 279, and it says, sorry I spammed a bit. You helped a lot. I'm glad to know I could help. Maybe I haven't gotten to your spam. I don't feel like you've spammed, but thank you. Thank you so much. Zion Noix says, hello, Mr. Noah. Oh, why the sad face, bro? Hey. Christy Shell says, hi, I'm doing a 100-day workout, and I'm on day 60. Wait. I'm doing a 100-day workout. I'm on day 60. Day 60 is far enough now that you are in the habit. Good for you. I make a point to move every single day. I work out really hard 5 days a week, active recovery 6th, and then no more than like a walk in recovery on day 7. I can't imagine my life without it. So congrats. Keep going, and hopefully on day 100 you shake it off for a day, go for a walk, and start another streak of being active. Guys, if you're not finding ways to be active every single day, and if you need to redefine what that means, right? It doesn't have to be going to the gym or going for a run. You can be going for a 10-minute walk. But if you're not finding a way to be active every single day and you're struggling with mental health, you are leaving a really, really, really easy thing on the table that might make you feel better. So not that anyone asked, Noah, but just throwing that out there. Clever New Name says, I have dealt with this for decades. I've learned many coping skills, by researching mainly. One doctor told me the most proactive patient she's seen. I do workout too. Good. We have to be proactive. I mean, we're living in the information era, guys. We no longer need to wait for someone to help us or fix us. We have to take ownership over the things we can, and we have to help ourselves. It is just a reality of this whole thing. Yeah, and it's a tough responsibility to take on sometimes, but it is our responsibility. That's for sure. That's for sure. Daniel Salas says, did you ever get rid of DPDR? If so, how did you do it? It was a long, complicated process, I must say. And yes, Daniel, I did get rid of DPDR. For those of you that don't know, it's depersonalization, derealization disorder. It's like feeling like you're in a dreamlike state. The best way I can describe it to someone who's never been through it, it's like being extremely tired, hungover, and sleep deprived on too much caffeine. It just creates this like blah, weird feeling. It's warped. And I got better just by being on a slow progression of changes, lifestyle, diet, supplements, treatments, therapy, exercise, breathing, time, and more time. Getting sober really helped. Managing stress really helped. Identifying blood work issues with my TRT really helped. And just staying in the hunt for how can I be the sanest version of myself. Different things will help different people with DPDR. I really believe that. But one thing is for sure, quest for wellness, quest for living a life that is conducive for mental health. And if you don't know where to begin, that's okay. That's not necessarily a bad place to be. In fact, I'd say if the slate's clean, you're in a pretty good place, because now you can just start from scratch and just start trying. Get some help, take some feedback, and just start wherever you can start. Just start. But you can always identify blood work as a first measure. I always tell people, at least. How about this? When it comes to the blood work thing, I think we should identify blood work issues before we perhaps start like a psych med, like a antidepressant, for example. So, Daniel Salas says, did you ever get rid of, I think I just read that. Cheyenne Espinola says, hi. Hey, Cheyenne. John Begun says, hey, Noah, sorry for kind of spamming, but can DPDR come out of nothing? Just woke up one morning with derealization, was the happiest person before this. I think we already spoke about this, John. I'm almost certain. I had to have spoken about this. So yes, I think it can for sure just come about. I don't know if it's truly out of nothing. I can't be sure, right? But it might not be on your radar what caused it or what precipitated it. But there are certainly days where I wake up and I have you guys ever done this? Like you go to bed feeling pretty damn good, like at least not bad. And then you wake up and you just feel horrible. Nothing circumstantially has changed. You can't recall anything you did, said, ingested, or whatever that would make sense for you to wake up and feel so fucking bad. But some days you just do. Some days you just do. So mental health stability is a fickle thing sometimes. Wes Parker says, I've done the on and off TRT because different doctors, different theories. After on long term going off for a substantial amount of time, it hits you pretty hard mentally and physically. Yeah, and that's something, thank you for sharing that, Wes, and that's something I sincerely aim to avoid. Cheyenne says, how do you know if you're in recovery from depression? It's kind of like, let's see. That's a good question. And I have like an annoying answer that I'm going to quickly give, but I'll try to back it up with something a little more touchable. But when you know. It's like, how do you know you're depressed? One day you're just like, I feel like shit. How do you know you're better? You just realize that you're not feeling like shit anymore. Like you're at least not thinking about it. You're not constantly talking about it. Other people will identify that you're starting to do better often before you will. It's the strangest thing. But I remember I used to like, it almost used to bother me, but I was depressed for so long, very, very dangerously depressed for a big, big chunk of time, and then just unfortunately depressed for a long chunk of time. And then mildly depressed for some time, whatever. But my point is, when I first started to get better, I remember people saying, like, I think you look like you're doing better today. And I would be like, no, I'm still really depressed. Like, I needed them to know I was still hurting because I didn't want them to think I felt good. And I just had trouble taking that feedback for what it was, So they would notice I was doing better before I would. But the point is, the absence of depression washes over you sometimes slowly. But in my experience and the experience from a lot of people that have taken the time to reach out to me, one day you kind of just realized you're all right. And it's definitely not like you hope it's going to be. I remember I would go to bed and I would just pray that I would wake up the next day and it would be gone. And it almost never ever works like that. I'm not saying it can't. It just very seldomly does, where you're just like, boom, you're back. Because a lot of us feel like where did we go? We lost ourselves. So that's that. Let's see, do we have any more super chats? Okay, let's see. Austin Billy says hi. What up? Guys, we have 8 minutes left before I have to skedaddle. I just want you to know I've been so happy with how many people have been hanging out with me. I just adore you guys. So if I don't get to your question, just know that I really do appreciate you. It's nothing personal. Trust me. And I'll get through as many as I can. And we'll do another one next week. Let's see. Rich says, you don't need a prescription for HCG. Cool. What the F hack says, 9 months boost free, brother. Thank you for posting. Hey, congratulations. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. You could have made a baby in that time. Congrats. That's a big deal. Zion Noix says, did you ever get to a point where you wanted to just give up? Absolutely. I think I brought this up early in the live stream. I certainly don't expect that everyone was here earlier. But yeah, the cool thing about giving up is it doesn't mean you have to give up. You think you're giving up, or I've thought many times, like, I don't care, F it, I'm done, I give up. I really have thought that. And then I just keep going anyway. And then I got better eventually anyway. But wanting to give up, a million times a day for like a year and a half, 2 years. I give up, but I just keep going. I can't do this anymore. I give up. I just keep going. The human spirit, incredibly resilient, especially if hope can outweigh pain. Just enough hope to outweigh the pain. That's all you need. Hugh Janice says, hey, what up, Hugh? Madison T says, thanks for answering my question, Noah. That was definitely really helpful. Tomorrow morning, I'm drinking the water. Sweet. Justin Torrance says, endocrinologist asked me to stop TRT for 4 months to try another method, probably HCG, but I would blow my brains out in that time. Yeah. Intense imagery aside, yeah, it's easier for doctors to just make a suggestion about stopping something that is very much on the pulse of our survival, especially if you come from dark places like I have. So yeah, you got to be careful. John Begun says, forgot that you literally read all the comments. Sorry, it's all good. Dirk Diggler says, great progress inspires me to see your past year. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Fam ACC, hey, Basher Bodani says, yo, I'm struggling with depersonalization. I moved from the warm climate country to a cold one. Could it be vitamin D? Yeah, it absolutely could be vitamin D. It could be the trauma of transplanting. I mean, nothing affects the mood more than like loss of life, loss of love, and geographic changes. I mean, loss of job. Like, these are things that are massively difficult to acclimate to for anyone. They're major anxiety stressors. So 100%. You need to up your self-care, and it wouldn't hurt to take the daily recommended allowance of vitamin D and or just get a blood draw and find out if your vitamin D is low. And hang in there, okay? Clever Nooning says, you come a long way, bro. I know you struggle firsthand. Big time props. Thank you. I admit that I really have, and I appreciate it's kind of you to say that. Tom Hinckley says, hey, no, I'm here because I've been dealing with suicidal feelings some days and feelings of hopelessness, which is reoccurring for a couple of days, but for the other days, not that bad. Yeah, it's an insidious thing, right? That we can like kind of be doing okay, literally feel like I'm fucked, like I feel terrible, kind of be doing okay, don't know what to trust, but we just trudge forward. I always say, oh, you're good. Oh yeah, you're way good. I almost want to tell people what I'm doing, but I'm not gonna. Or what you're doing, rather. Anyway, we trudge forward and we do our best to control the things we can. And just stay brave and get support and comfort yourself wherever possible. A lot of this is like, I think one of the hardest things about being depressed is just the very genuine awareness that there's absence of comfort. There's just absence of comfort. I remember when I was depressed, I couldn't even feel the sheets on my bed anymore. Like, I couldn't feel anything. Like, I felt so raw and numb. I just didn't feel comfort anymore. And when that leaves and you don't see it coming back, you can go down some rabbit holes in your brain quick. You're just like, okay, how much longer could I possibly do this? It's scary, and you need support, and you need strong-willed people to not buy into your hopelessness. Whew, that triggered me a little bit. Clever New Name says depersonalization is freaky as hell. Yeah, it is. Cheyenne, guys, if anyone here thinks they struggle, excuse me, thinks they struggle with DPDR, dissociative disorder, being stuck in a fog, dreamlike state, check out the movie. Oh, geez, no, am I really going to forget? It's a movie by Matthew Perry. To my knowledge, it's the only movie that's ever been made specifically about depersonalization. Matthew Perry. What's it called? Depersonalization movie. Numb. It's a movie called Numb by Matthew Perry, and it's phenomenally made, and it deals with the dissociative disorder. It's a 2007 drama that brought me so much comfort. I can't even tell you how much comfort it brought me. This is it. So if you guys think you struggle with depersonalization, the director of this video did, and he survived, like I did, like you can. It might bring you some comfort. It might bring you some comfort. All right, guys, we are wrapping this thing up. 2 minutes left. Let me check the super chat. No, we're good. 2 minutes left. Let's see. Let's get a couple more. Cheyenne says, your videos have helped me so much. I wish I knew you in person. I have so many questions. Thanks. I'm here. You know me here, and this in this modern world, sometimes as close as any of us are going to be able to get to one another, but I know you guys are there. I know you're there. I don't have this weird thing like I'm just speaking off into the ether. Right now, there's currently 70 people watching, but in the grand scheme of things, I doubt any of you are watching with anyone else. It's just you and me. It's just you and me. And it's a real thing, and I do feel the connection. I do see the value. I do see the power. And I'm really glad you guys are here. Chris Mitchell says, hi, no. What's up, Chris? Fam ACC, will you keep this on your page? I can't watch right now, but I know you're giving some important tips. Yeah, so, geez Louise. This whole live stream will be on it'll become its own video on my channel. Yusuf Badreldin says, hey, Tom, did you know that you have already stronger person than you were 5 minutes ago? Beautiful. So we're looking after each other. Anonymous says, I'm a week sober today. That first week is huge. It took me a couple years to get that first week. It's tough. It's huge. Congratulations. Clever New Name. Of all the new things I've struggled with, the intrusive thoughts are the absolute worst, but I get through it. Yes, you get through it. And listen, beyond that, guys, you will not be a slave to your intrusive, random thoughts forever. I promise. I promise that you can get a hold of that. You really, really can. Just continue to learn about it and continue to implement basic, simple practices. But one thing I'll leave you guys with when it comes to intrusive thoughts is just remember that that's not you. And you can just say that. That's none of my business. That's not me. Those are my intrusive thoughts. Those aren't who I am. We have to very much become observers of these thoughts and not people that react to them. Easier said than done. But I just don't feel like I'm not as afraid of them anymore because I've been able to separate myself from them. I've been able to gain more self-love, self-respect, and I begin to not shift my sense of wellness and my sense of self and my identity around these random thoughts that I can't control. I can't control them, but what I can do is influence them. And when I really honed in on that, what can I do to better influence my thoughts? Oh, better habits, better people, better places, better things, better rituals, better lifestyle, better diet, better exercise, whatever. AKA, be as healthy as you can and be around as many healthy people as you can and learn as much as you can about mental health and wellness, and things can get so much better. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it on that one. Again, thank you for those that took the time to be here. Forgive me to those who didn't get their questions answered or weren't able to direct the conversation because I didn't quite make it to there. I am officially just big enough to not keep up with all the comments, and I want to. I wish I could, but I can't. But I'll be looking for you in the next one. You can always reach me on Patreon if you just want, even like a $1. Yeah, you can reach me every day via message, and just know that you're valued, you're appreciated, and thank you guys for making my life better by being here and kicking it with me on a Sunday. So we'll see you guys next week. I have some cool videos that I hope you guys will like, and I'll be releasing. But otherwise, just live your best, have your best day, have your best night. Stay brave if you're struggling. See if you can help someone if you're not. And we'll see you guys next time we see you, okay? Thank you so much. Adios, muchachos, and bro chachas. Later.